An absolute gem of an episode that I really liked from the original Twilight Zone series was a episode called The After Hours. So the After Hours basically shows a lady named Marcia White. She gets taken up to the ninth floor in a department store. She's looking for a gold thimble for her mother. She happens to get the gold thimble from a very strange sales lady who happens to have that only item on that floor. It's a completely empty floor except for some showcasing. She buys the thimble, but then she finds out it has a dent or a scratch. So she goes downstairs to complain to the manager, and the manager said, "Where did you get it from?" And she said, "Well, I actually got it from the ninth floor." He said, "We don't have a ninth floor." She says, "I'm pretty sure you do. I was taken up there." And then she spots the lady that sold her the gold thimble, only to find out when she looks upon closer inspection, it's a mannequin. So she freaks out, faints. The manager and the salesperson, they take her to a back room to make sure she rests and recuperates. When she gets up, she's disoriented and the department store is closed. So she's wandering around, freaking out, wondering what's going on. And she starts hearing voices, and they're voices coming from the mannequins, and she's covering her ears and wanting them to stop. And then the elevator creepily opens up and takes her back up to the ninth floor where she originally got that thimble. And that's where she sees all these other mannequins. And she sees the lady that sold her the thimble. And the lady's telling her, "Why are you crying?" She comes to life. She says, "Why are you crying, Marcia? Stop crying. Do you remember that you signed up to be a human for 1 month and now it's my turn to go and I'm already 1 day late from going as a month for a human?" And then Marcia starts getting her realization back and she goes, "Oh," and she apologizes. And in the end, it shows one of the salespeople that she had encountered before. They see her, Marcia White, as the mannequin, and obviously he looks frightened out of his wits. And the reason why I like this episode so much is because it reminds me of Gnosticism. In the old Gnostic texts, they talk about our soul's purpose, our soul's journey. And basically, how I feel this episode was written by Rod Serling was from a Gnostic viewpoint, saying that we don't remember what we signed up for before we incarnated on this earth. And we tend to forget what happens after we die. And I think that's what this episode was trying to show, that once she was human, she just was immersed in that world of, buying things and, appeasing her mother and, talking like how humans talk to each other, how we're always just kind of performing. And she didn't realize there was something bigger or something that was awaiting her until, she finally had that breakdown. So I thought this episode was brilliantly written by Rod Serling. I absolutely love it. And it's a classic to me.